Hello everybody, I'm Andy Lagopus, and with me is the ever-lovely
Pinkstar. So nice to be here once again in this podcast called...
It's called a podcast, sweetheart.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess iCaps for short. Some people have used that. Welcome to iCaps.
iCaps.
It's like IHOP, but worse. Or better, in different ways.
Now that I think about it, yeah, that's true.
So, we don't have any special guests this time, but we do have a special topic. But first, the news.
Oh yeah, we got some very good news recently related to the sequel, actually. Well, kind of.
Yes. Oh, right, this is going out in January. Happy January! Happy New Year! Woo! We're in the year that Zootopia 2 is supposed to release now.
We just had to wait 11 months.
We've waited almost 9 years now. We can wait a few more months.
Yeah, of course.
But yes, we have news regarding the sequel in that Jared Bush did a Q&A on Twitter. Got lots of interesting little tidbits of information from that as well.
Of course, emphasizing that he do not reveal too much because obviously the element of surprise is when the movie finally gets released on theaters.
Of course. And they'll be revealing more and more as time goes on and we get trailers and whatnot, but we do get a few sprinklings here and there. For example, Judy still is living in the Grand Pangolin Arms. I feel so bad for her.
Why does she still live there?
Apparently it takes place not very long after the first movie, so she might not have had time to get a raise.
That's too sad.
That or the housing market in Zootopia is just as bad as it is in real life.
Yeah, in that sense, it is realistic then.
$2,000 a month for that apartment.
Yeah, and well, also we'd like to point out that from what it was said is that the movie will take place practically immediately after the original movie ended.
Yeah, he said specifically takes place very close after the first film, so that'll be cool to see. And Duke Weaselton will be back with more bootlegs.
Yeah.
That should be a lot of fun.
And also he made mention a bit about Gary, the snake character that is going to be coming up precisely on the sequel. That it's really very interesting character, and you will definitely see the how we can mention it, that it is very you will notice some details that regards other snake characters from Disney in general.
Yes, he says that he's a scene stealer, and in his performance there are nods to Disney's legacy characters that are also snakes. So I totally expect like a Ka sort of like hypnosis eyes at some point.
Maybe he'll try to convince us to trust in him.
Yes, trust in me. It's been so long since I've seen The Jungle Book. I really should watch it again.
Yeah, I won't remember it because for what we saw on the Once Upon a Studio short film.
Yeah. And that's about all the news that's come out this past month. So we will be waiting with bated breath and Jason Bateman in our hearts. I don't know what I meant by that.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, okay, so then if you want to check out more answers related to the QA panel that Jerbush did on Twitter, you can check it out on ZNN.
ZootopiaNewsNetwork.com. And if you want to support this podcast as well as ZNN itself, we bring news and updates to everything Zootopia and fandom related as frequently as they happen. So patreon.com/ZNN, that is the place to go to donate. And what unrealistic goal should I set this month? Let's see, $500 a month, and I will make a video of myself licking a frog. I don't know. I don't know why I thought of that either. My mind is in a strange place today. And speaking of strange places, animation. Am I right?
Oh yeah, that's true. Precisely.
How's that for a segue?
Yeah, that's actually
A
really
terrible
nice.
one.
No,
Terrible
but
one.
it fits in a way. But somehow it fits. Well, but that is the topic about today's episode. That, well, precisely because Zootopia has really inspired lots of people among fans to create their own stories, to create their own pieces of art, drawings, comics, but also to animate.
Yes, the most difficult of those arts. The one that requires you to not just draw a single panel, not just draw a single piece, not just do a single story, but to draw hundreds of the same but slightly different images.
Yep.
Thousands upon thousands of individual frames.
Too much work.
I'm having flashbacks. I actually tried studying animation when I first went to university, and I did a flour sack animation. I got a C on it. I made the mistake of animating on ones, which for those who are not animators means I animated 24 frames per second. It was hand-drawn on pieces of paper with a light table for a 10-second animation. That is 240 drawings of a sack of flour.
Wow. I can't imagine.
And I got
the
a C on
pain.
it. I got a C.
I really can't imagine the pain.
Yeah. Well, my wrist can. Still remembers vaguely. Anyways, trauma aside, there is so much that goes into animation, and it is a spectacular art, and it is a lot of time and effort and work to make it actually happen.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so impressive when people do it.
I had to applaud all those people for all the effort they put into creating these animations that may be small or, well, short, because not a lot of them can last too much, as in maybe 30 seconds or a bit more perhaps, but it's still very well done.
There are several different types of animations that fans have made over the years.
Yeah.
We have here today a sampling of some of the best that we have found over the past few years, and we'll be talking about them a bit. And speaking of how difficult it is to animate, let's start off with the smaller projects, the ones that end up as GIFs.
Yeah, because they also count as animation. Whether it,
yeah.
like we mentioned, while it is just less as around the 2 or 3 seconds, it is still animation.
Yeah, as my wrist can attest, 10 seconds of animation is still a buttload of work. So we have one here from Aaron J, which is Finnick breakdancing. It's just fun.
Especially because most of Zootopia animations just include Judy or Nick, and for this animation to be a side character, it's really nice.
Yeah, we don't get much Finnick, and I will say, breakdancing is one of those more difficult things to animate, because you've got to be able to get the character from all angles, like their feet and everything, moving in a circle and make it look natural. So, that one is very impressive.
Yeah. Another small GIF, well, this one is in 3D. I had to actually look for it because I don't remember where it is, but I remember that a long time I saw a GIF of Judy and Nick snuggling, taking a nap. It's really cute. Well, I don't.
That is cute.
It was in DeviantArt when I first found it, but I don't remember who made it. I need to look down the artist.
All right. Well, if you can find that, let's definitely include it. Another short one that a friend of mine actually made is, Nick rolling.
I see that.
Yep. It's just Nick doing the classic Rick Astley, never gonna give you up. And Yes, we did just rickroll you in this podcast. I'm sorry. What year is it again? 2025 now?
Yeah.
It's a joke that never dies. Yeah, there's that type of animation that are just fun little GIFs, and then there are others that are little trailers or comics that are made into animations. Kolkov has a couple of those.
Either some ideas that she has created herself in comic style, or other projects that being original ideas by other artists, but she has collaborated with them so she can create these small animations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for example, we have The Question, where she actually shows her entire process of drawing and keyframing the rough part of it, which is very fun to see behind the curtain a bit. Digital art does make the animation process quite a bit easier than hand-drawn, even if it is hand-drawn digital.
Sure, and also there was this...
The existence of the backspace or undo button is so good.
Well, there was also this short series that she did that was called Ask Us, where Judy and Nick had to answer questions from the audience.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it was also animated and turned into comic dub, along with
Mickle Pickle voice acts and Cass VA.
Voice acts, yeah.
Cass voice acts. Mickle Pickle VA and Cass voice acts. Right. Sorry, got it mixed up. Sorry, you two. So that's one type of animation. Oh, let's not forget Sunderance.
Oh, yes, yes.
There was a trailer for the Sunderance comic that Wyvern's Weaver did back when he was doing the art for it.
Oh, yeah, yes. For those who don't know what Sunderance, but I feel it's not too relevant nowadays. Well, at least for the fandom, because the big hype for the comic itself was...
It's one of the ones that started early on in the fandom's life.
Yep. But it doesn't take away that it is personally one of the greatest comics out there.
In our opinion.
Because while obviously the comic takes its liberties on how to develop the characters, and how the environment in Zootopia is way different than in the movie, but I think it is really well done.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. And the trailer does a good job of kind of showing off what you can expect if it were a movie. It's a really good animated trailer is what I'm getting at.
I agree. Totally.
Mm-hmm. Then there are finished and full-length in air quotes, shorts of 2D animated Zootopia stuff. One of them actually came out for the Chinese Dragon Boat Festival back in 2017.
Oh, yes. Also another early project.
Yes, though this one I believe it was official, but it's kind of hard to tell. I'm not sure if it's actually Disney sanctioned or not, but the studio that did it made very fun. They had a very fun style of Nick and Judy in a 2D sort of paper cutout style. So there will be some images of that on screen.
Yep, it's very fluent.
Mm-hmm.
And also the style in which they are designed is technically it's an official design from Disney, because whenever you buy some art where they look like that, or for instance there's mini Funkos or something like that where they are in the chibi style like that.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things where, does China care about copyright? It's loose.
Yes.
Then there are some people who have made 3D animations, both short and long form, or even music videos, such as the ones from Stardust Andrew, who, shout out to him on YouTube. He's only got 460 subscribers, but he's done quite a few Zootopia related 3D animations using, what's it called, MMD? I don't know what that is, but basically it music video thing using very simple 3D models.
Yeah.
Very cartoony style, but it's cool. It's very cool. And 3D animation is a whole other art in and of itself.
Exactly.
Like, it said that 2D animation is an evolution of drawing and, like, painting, but 3D animation is an evolution of puppetry. Because, well, you're manipulating digital puppets.
Yeah, it's just the movement. Kind of similar, like stop motion, but in digital form.
Hmm. Yeah, kinda.
And I think I remember also there was this animation. Well, can I also mention about this one that it's called?
Oh yes. From Red Moa.
Yeah, for those who don't know, there's this music video that's called Lone Digger. A song
Do not
done
look
by...
it up if you are under the age of 18.
Oh, please, yes. Disclaimer there. There's this group, well, band that's called Caravan Palace.
It is amazing. I love it. Electro swing is such a vibe.
Yes, they have great music. They have this animated music video for their song Lone Digger, where it features animals. And it really...
Yep, anthropomorphic animals in a club.
Yeah, there are some... Yeah, quite the imagery there. And also...
It gets violent. It gets very violent.
I was going to say that violence there. Technically, the thing is that, well, in the Lone Copper short, well, Judy's interview about her life of being a cop, but she also sees the downs of the situation.
Yeah.
Because there's a one point in the music video that you can see that apparently the cops arrived on scene.
Mm-hmm.
And the joke here is that the one who arrived to the scene was Judy.
Mm-hmm. And she just kept dancing.
Yeah. You need to watch both the video from Caravan Palace
Yes.
and this one to get the joke.
Yes, and we will not say more, and we have given you all the warnings we are going to.
Yeah.
Speaking of, there are a couple other 3D animated ones. There was Wild Games that was originally done by a Russian animator.
Oh.
And then it was dubbed into English by the Zootopia dubbing channel, which I was a part of back when it started. It was 7 years ago. It kind of fell apart, as many projects do, but it was good while it lasted.
That's kind of the thing where projects get lost on the internet. That is a bit sad when it happens.
It can be, but, like, some things just run their course. The best ones are when they finish the project, though.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the most famous... Well, okay, there are two fan animations that are probably among the most famous. The first is What If Zootopia Was an Anime by Mike Inell.
Oh, yes, yes. For those who remember the... what's it called?
The nudist club scene?
Yes, with Jax and...
The Naturalist Club.
The Naturalist Club, yeah. I was thinking it's a club, but what's it?
Mystic Springs Oasis?
Yes, exactly.
Mm.
But yes.
Yeah.
It's. I think people have mentioned that precisely because for us, we don't see it like something that's too scandalous. But if we're talking about
Disney nudity.
Exactly. Like, there are places like that in real life, but there are still there are also people that might find themselves uncomfortable because we already have this the idea that we need to wear obviously clothes whenever we go.
Yeah, and this animation takes the idea in a different direction because it does the whole scene, except all the characters are anime characters and they are humans.
Oh.
Yeah, let that sink in. Now let that sink out. I don't know what that means. Anyway, there is, thankfully, a safe for work version that he posted on YouTube where everything is covered up and censored. And he had to do some creative censorship in this. Because it may be a shot-for-shot remake of the scene from the movie, but with anime humans. But, well, Disney was not particularly subtle with that scene.
Yes. But also, we can find some references to other popular characters from video games and anime in general.
Oh yeah, he replaces a ton of characters. Like, there's a Saxon Hale at some point. There's a couple of characters from, like, Splatoon. Johnny Bravo is there, I believe.
Yeah, I don't remember. Like, I remember I watched the Safe for Work version, but a long time ago. I watched the Safe for Work version.
Yes, the Safe for Work version is the one that is recommended. It's got, currently, has 8.9 million views. Wow, impressive. And that gets into another topic for, well, Zootopia fan animations, because there are plenty that are not designed with a child audience in mind. We shall put it that way.
Oh, that reminds me of another animation. I don't know if you have watched it. Do you remember a comic that's called Savage Company?
Yes, I do.
They animated the first episode of the comic.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
That's even better.
I don't know if you have watched it.
Yeah. Well, that's another one where it's tied into the comic, but this one's a full animation?
Yes. It has the prologue and the first episode.
Right. And that one is that one violent or no?
No.
The comic is.
The comic
right?
is violent, yes, and there is a combination of original characters and Zootopia characters.
Yes.
Yes, it is not violent, but it is harsh because they have to investigate the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
Besides
they
that,
don't pull their punches. We'll
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, there have been several other types of attempts to fill the void left by Zootopia these past almost 9 years. Probably the most impressive, it's got to be Return to Zootopia.
It's really technically been a fan film.
Yeah, it's a full-length, almost 2-hour long fan-made movie with varying levels of animation throughout, but it's like animatic style, so I consider it close enough.
Yeah, first it was released by parts. Like, I remember it was part 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, and so.
Mhm.
But at the end, it was re-released as a full-length fan film.
Yep, and it launched Mauricio, the creator's career, basically. He runs Brown Table, a YouTube channel that has over 400,000 subscribers. The Return to Zootopia fan film has over 8 million views, and he's currently working on his own original anime called Interstellar Ranger Commence, which is super awesome. And, like, he started this when he was 17. Like, holy cow. I feel so unaccomplished.
Oh,
It's like,
that's really being motivated and dedicated to your project.
yeah, like, holy cow. How do you do this? I hope that one day we can get him on this podcast as a guest of some sort, because I would love to pick his brain about how he goes about actually getting stuff done, you know?
Yes, because at that age to do something like that, well, it is really a big accomplishment.
Well, not only that, but like, yeah, he did all the music himself, for one, which it's very fun to listen to and hear the definitely not Michael Giacchino score, like the definitely original, legally distinct version of some of the music from Zootopia, like playing on the same themes and motifs, but also obviously done by someone else, specifically for this, you know?
Right.
But he also wrote, edited, and animated it all himself. Like, holy cow.
I think the only thing that has to get be like being worried about in a way will have to be recording the voices for the characters.
Yeah, and he got great cast that actually sound very similar to the characters. Like, he himself plays Nick Wilde and Chief Bogo and about half a dozen other characters. And then there's about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 other people who voiced all the others. And, like, wow. This is a seriously impressive project. Like, holy cow.
And how much time it must have
It took him years. It took him like 3 years from start to finish. Because it was released in November of 2019, and he started it in 2016. So...
Wow.
And you can see his progress as it goes on throughout.
Yes.
Like, from one episode to the next, you can see his art getting better and, like, the cinematography and such getting better. Because, again, he released it in parts. Yep. As you said.
Nevertheless, it is still very impressive of everything he did, even from the start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, it's admirable. And, when was Zootopia Plus announced again?
2022, 2021, I think?
That's when it was released. Like, was it announced then? Or...
I don't remember. If it was announced, I think it was announced a year prior, I think. Because Disney Plus was still...
It released in 2022, and we got our first news about it in 2020. So, hopefully, so with Return to Zootopia releasing in 2019, I'm thinking it kind of lit a fire under Disney to be like, hey, there is demand here. People are begging for more Zootopia stuff.
Yes.
That's kind of all I had to say there.
Yes, and also not only focused around Judy and Nick, but also the side characters, because also people really want to know more about them.
Exactly.
And that's what Zootopia Plus is.
Precisely. And I will say, the story of it's clearly written by a 17-year-old, you know? But it's not bad. Like,
it could be better. Maybe.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that if he were to redo it now with several years of experience, he would do it differently, you know?
Of course, yes. Agreed.
But it is very sweet. Like, it focuses a lot on Nick and Judy's relationship, how they end up getting together in this version. Again, it's not canon, but there's an original villain, it's a crime thriller, you know?
Yeah.
With a good, heavy dose of romance and shipping thrown in. It's a good movie. You should go watch it if you haven't already.
But there's also, I want to talk about that. There's also some, I'm not going to say realism, but I will call it more like, there is still, like in the original film, a bit of prejudice against certain types of people in general.
Oh yeah, it doesn't shy away from the sorts of messaging we saw in the original Zootopia either. Overall, I'd give it a 7.5 or 8 out of 10, maybe even a 9, just for the fact it's one guy doing it. What's it got on IMDb? I'm curious now.
I have no idea. But yeah, like I mentioned, we have to give it a hand
it's on there.
Because, wow.
it is actually on there, and it has a 7.2 out of 10.
Oh.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Like you have mentioned, well, the story itself, like perhaps it could be written better, but as in the way as it improved, but for what it is, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there are other animations out there that perhaps we hadn't mentioned. So if you like to, you can mention another example, like the ones we have done. We have mentioned here on the comments.
Yes. Please leave comments with all the fan animations you know and love, because we only covered a few. We covered a handful. We covered some of the biggest and most famous, but there are so many that we didn't.
Like you mentioned the Chinese one. I'm pretty sure there should be other ones similar, or even Japanese small animations, or also GIFs that perhaps we don't remember at this moment, but be free to share them to us.
Yes, please definitely do. Again, props to everyone who does take the time to make an animation. It is such an impressive undertaking, no matter what the result is. Even if you think it looks like crap, it is worth celebrating.
Their effort is really paid off.
Absolutely. Again, we highly encourage everyone who has an interest in doing so to do so. We love seeing animations when they come out, and we love featuring them on ZNN. So, please, keep them coming.
Yeah, I would like to see your creativity.
And with the sequel around the corner, there's going to be so much more ideas and so much more to cover. And I can't wait to see it.
Everybody on the TMZ and I would love to check it out.
Oh, yeah. And, yeah, fan animations. They're amazing. Go check out the ones that we have featured here. We should have links in the description to check out the originals. And do you have anything more to add?
Well, like you mentioned, Lal, I really admire everybody who has done these projects, because as someone that, really love animation, but I really don't have any talent for it. So it's really incredible what everybody has been able to do with these either GIFs or fan animation that are perhaps simple or more complicated, or in this case the fan film. It's really like I mentioned, it's admirable what everybody is able to accomplish, and I'm pretty sure that it must have been very tiring, exhausted work, but it really paid off, and people are really very happy with what you did. So yes, congratulations to all of you, and hopefully we can see more people who create these works of art, and we can also check them out.
Agreed, 100%. So, till next time, everyone, I'm Andy Lagopus. Remember, if you want to support this podcast, go to patreon.com/ZNN. And until next time, boom.